Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today I have a new poem for you. I'm going to be reading for you The Fish by Elizabeth Bishop. This poem was originally published in 1946. So remember, while you are listening to the poem, you can be reading along with the written version. You should be paying attention to figuring out the rhyme scheme, if there is any, and the rhythm or meter of the poem, as well as trying to pick out any figurative language that you can identify throughout the poem. And then after you've read the whole thing, you want to figure out what was the overall meaning of this poem and what were the feelings that this poem leaves you with. Just one more thing before we begin. It's important to know there is one vocabulary word you need to know. So, isinglass is a membrane-like material made from the swim bladders of fish. It has been used in cooking and in making beer for centuries. So just so you know, that word is used in the poem so that you know what it means when it comes up. The Fish by Elizabeth Bishop. I caught a tremendous fish and held him beside the boat, half out of water, with my hook fast in a corner of his mouth. He didn't fight. He hadn't fought at all. He hung a grunting weight, battered and vulnerable and homely. Here and there his brown skin hung in strips like ancient wallpaper, and its pattern of darker brown was like wallpaper. Shapes like full-blown roses, stained and lost through age. He was speckled with barnacles, fine rosettes of lime, and infested with tiny white sea lice, and underneath 2 or 3 rags of green weed hung down, while his gills were breathing in the terrible oxygen, the frightening gills, fresh and crisp with blood, that can cut so badly. I thought of the coarse white flesh packed in like feathers, the big bones and the little bones, the dramatic reds and blacks of his shiny entrails, and the pink swim bladder like a big peony. I looked into his eyes, which were far larger than mine, but shallower and yellowed, the irises backed and packed with tarnished tinfoil, seen through the lenses of old scratched isinglass. They shifted a little, but not to return my stare. It was more like the tipping of an object toward the light. I admired his sullen face, the mechanism of his jaw, and then I saw that from his lower lip, if you could call it a lip, grim, wet and weapon-like, hung 5 old pieces of fish line, or 4 and a wire leader with the swivel still attached, with all their 5 big hooks grown firmly in his mouth. A green line, frayed at the end where he broke it, 2 heavier lines, and a fine black thread still crimped from the strain and snap when it broke and he got away. Like metals, with their ribbons frayed and wavering, a 5-haired beard of wisdom trailing from his aching jaw. I stared, and victory filled up the little rented boat. From the pool of bilge where oil had spread a rainbow around the rusted engine to the bailer rusted orange, the sun-cracked thwarts, the oar-locks on their strings, the gunwales, until everything was rainbow, 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 and I let the fish go.